Janet Jackson had to pay Renee Elizondo Jr. about $15 million. He had been one of her backup dancers, and when he became her ex-husband, she had to pay. Madonna had to pay Guy Ritchie somewhere between $76 and $92 million, one of the largest divorce payouts in history. Wendy Williams was paying Kevin Hunter $37,500 a month plus $250,000 so he could find a new home. Another man who came up on the husband-to-manager pipeline. Britney Spears.
Always remember, a man will ruin your entire life and then ask you to hang out later. Like, hey, what you doing?
He's right. Hey, oh, what you doing? Oh, what you doing? Oh, where you going? I want you. I need you. Come here.
I'm being sued for $6 million. I don't know where he thinks I'm going to come up with $6 million. I am being sued for $6 million in federal court because I didn't respond to a man's advances.
A man without peace will take yours. A man without money will take yours. A man without confidence will take yours.
Hi ladies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to this channel, my name is Miss Kafue. How have you been? I've missed you ladies. I hope you've been enjoying the content of late. Personally, I've been enjoying it. I don't know about you, but the numbers are speaking for themselves. Anyway, in today's video, we are talking about, oh my god, these men will rob you. These men are the biggest gold diggers, They'll rob you of everything you have. You normally hear this statement of a man will live in the desert without water and think that it's cliche, it's a joke, it can never happen to you. I mean, it's hypothetical. Let me tell you, these things will happen to you. Ladies, be careful. Be careful. So without further ado, let's jump right into this video and then I'll be back to give my take on it.
Janet Jackson had to pay Renee Elizondo Jr. about $15 million. He had been one of her backup dancers, and when he became her ex-husband, she had to pay. Madonna had to pay Guy Ritchie somewhere between $76 and $92 million, one of the largest divorce payouts in history. Wendy Williams was paying Kevin Hunter $37,500 a month plus $250,000 so he could find a new home. Another man who came up on the husband-to-manager pipeline. Britney Spears followed Janet Jackson's footsteps in more ways than one. She was ordered to pay Kevin Federline $20,000 a month, a backup dancer who she was married to for just 2 years. Mel B had to pay Stephen Belafonte a $350,000 settlement, $15,000 a month in spousal support, and $500,000 in legal fees. Roseanne Barr had to pay former blue-collar worker and fledgling stand-up comedian Tom Arnold $50 million because they didn't have a prenup. Sherry Shepherd pays Lamar Sally $6,400 a month for a child she tried to disown. Kirstie Alley paid 1970s heartthrob Parker Stevenson $6 million. Many would say that before their marriage was over, her career was thriving and he was a washed-up actor. Mary J. Blige was ordered to pay her husband-manager, Kendu Isaacs, $30,000 a month. He even included a line item for gym fees or a personal trainer because, that kind of physique doesn't just make itself. Anna Faris paid Benjamin Indra $900,000 after his career stalled while hers took off. Toni Braxton had to pay Carrie Lewis, a keyboardist for R&B group Mint Condition, $30,000 a month. Kate Winslet paid Jim Thrippleton $4 million. Halle Berry pays Olivier Martinez, aka the French Brad Pitt, $8,000 a month, plus a percentage of everything she earns over $2 million. Adele reportedly paid Simon Konecki $171 million. Former WNBA player Candace Parker had to pay Sheldon Williams $400,000, and he made $12 million in his own NBA career. Kelly Clarkson paid her husband-manager, Brandon Blackstock, $45,000 a month. She was able to stop making those payments because he sadly died in August 2025. So you see, this isn't a black woman problem. This isn't a white woman problem. This is a rich woman problem, and it's been happening for a lot longer than any of us have been alive.
And always remember, a man will ruin your entire life and then ask you to hang out later. Like, hey, what you doing?
He's right. Hey, oh what you doing? Oh what you doing? Oh where you going? I want you. I need you. Come here. I'm a really nice guy. I'm not like the others. You can trust me. I won't break your heart. Welp, you're boring me, so I'm going to find somebody else. Oh, when I wake up in the morning, I expect breakfast to be ready. Oh, you have a job? Hey, big money. Let me get a couple dollars. No, you can't hang out with your friends. As a matter of fact, you can't talk to them anymore. And you can't go out anymore. You have to stay home and knit sweaters. She wants a financially stable man? Gold digger! Of course, I only say that because I'm not financially stable. Oh, what you doing? Oh, what you doing? Oh, where you going? Oh!
And now I'm being sued for $6 million. I don't know where he thinks I'm going to come up with $6 million. I am being sued for $6 million in federal court because I didn't respond to a man's advances. It's extreme. And I know that there's going to be plenty of people who say not all men are like this. I know. It is not okay. It is not okay that this is what it is to be a woman right now. It is not okay. If a woman doesn't answer you, if she doesn't respond, if she says no, go the fuck away. Go away. Moms, we have to do better. We have to raise men that can take disappointment like men, like actual gentlemen. We have to raise men who know how to deal with their emotions, who can handle being rejected, and who aren't gonna throw a fucking tantrum because a woman says, I'm not interested. I shouldn't let this get to me. It's insane. It's insane. There's no basis for any of this. I don't want to waste my time or my money with attorneys and whatever. There's obviously no proof because none of what he says happened. But I shouldn't have to deal with this. Like, this shouldn't even be a thing. It shouldn't even be a thing. Anyway, I am not going to... I will dry my tears. I will put on my lipstick. I will be fine. This man will not break me. But it is my plea to everyone out there to demand better. Moms, raise your children better. We have to raise our boys better. Guys, demand better of your friends. And for the love of God, when a woman says, this man is making me nervous, can you help me? Help her. Don't stare at her in disbelief. Just help her. Help her.
I can't even lie, man. Anytime I go on a girl Instagram and she got hella vacations that she been to and like posting like food and like designer bags and shit like that shit is instantly a turn off for me now.
I've seen a few stitches of this video today and they're all in the neighborhood of, oh, you're not disgusted, you're intimidated because you're broke. But if I may, I'd like to offer a slightly different perspective in that this young man is telling the truth. That when he sees a woman's Instagram page and it's nothing but her photos of her vacations and the beautiful food that she's eating at nice restaurants, food that she didn't have to cook herself, and the beautiful designer handbags and shoes that she has, he is genuinely disgusted. As women, we need to be having more conversations about how many men see women as beasts of burden, as domestic servants to make their lives easier, to ease their burdens. If a woman has a bunch of vacation photos and designer bags and expensive foods on her page, not only is she showing that she has money, she's doing something that for a lot of men is far, far worse, much less forgivable. She is showing over and over again that she has time, and she is not using that time to manage a man's household, raise his children, or make his life easier. I've said in previous videos that a lot of times when men use the terms wife material or good woman or strong woman, what they really mean is this is the type of woman that I need in my life to make my life easier. She's a woman that's going to grind for me. She's a woman that's going to cook for me. She's a woman that's going to clean for me. She's a woman that's going to be my personal assistant and unpaid secretary. This is the same reason why a lot of men really despise the rich auntie. Again, this is another woman who has time and has energy and is not using it on that man and his children. Men simply do not have this level of resentment and rancor for the wealthy woman who's ready to spend her money on a man, to let him move into her apartment, to finance him while he gets his SoundCloud career up and going. No, this resentment is specifically for women with the time, energy, and means to take care of herself, but won't let a man be the spoils of her very leisurely lifestyle. Many men feel personally offended at the mere idea of a woman resting, and many women were raised and continue to raise their daughters to feel guilty for resting, to feel as if they should always be productive, to always be doing something. So yes, disgust and not intimidation is exactly the emotion that many of these men feel when they see a woman who dares to actually rest and relax. Men like this are to be avoided at all costs. They will never love the woman as a person, only love her for her labors and what they can extract from her. There's a reason why men are 7 times more likely to leave a terminally or chronically ill wife. Once you stop being useful, they stop being in love.
I'm saying this once and once only. I ain't gonna repeat myself, yeah? If you can't hear me, turn the volume up. If you still can't hear me, plug me into the speaker. And if you can't hear that, fucking put it on a billboard, right? Highlight that shit, underline it, put it in caps lock, stick it on a billboard. I ain't saying it again. Mums and their sons and sons and their mums, you're a different breed of fucking ridiculous. Some of you men love your mummy so much you want her to clean you, bathe you, wash you, feed you, fuck you, love you, wash your pants, make your bed, clean your clothes, put them in the wardrobe, hoover your carpet, brush your teeth, pick the bogies out your nostrils, and then you're going to come to me and be like, well, my mum does it for me, so why don't you? Funnily enough, I'm not your mother. I didn't grow you in my womb for 9 months and then painstakingly push you out of my fucking vagina for you to come out and be a bitch. I'm sorry, but you men and your mummies, if you want to date someone like your mum so fucking much, just date your mum. Well, I'd firm the incest. I'd actually firm listening to you saying that you're in an ancestral relationship with your mum, because I'd be like, oh, that explains so fucking much. And do you know what? It's not even the men. Some of you mums with your sons, you need to get a grip, because you're making them love you in a different way. And I'm sorry, but I'm not going to take part in it. I ain't participating. I ain't going to date one of your little sons and their mums. I'm not doing it. If your son can't clean his own pants and wash his own plate, then personally, he ain't eating my puss. That's it. End of.
Listen, never give a narcissist access to any of your accounts, like none of that information, because these people will literally steal money from right up under your nose. Like, even if you guys are legally married, whatever the case may be, do not give them access to your accounts, because they will steal money from you. And it's so heartbreaking, because it's like you work so hard to get to where you are, and these people will literally just steal from you without you even knowing. It's crazy. It's like, especially if you're like the type of person to not really check your account like that, if they know your habits and the way that you move, like, they can get away with it a lot easier because they know that you're not checking your account, right? So it's not until you actually go and check your account and then you see like a withdrawal or like a transfer to them and you're like, I didn't transfer this money to them. Like, where did this come from? Like, that's the sort of things that these narcissistic people will do. So you have to make sure that you protect yourself, protect your assets, protect your finances, because these people will literally steal any and everything from you, including your hard-earned money.
If you have no resources and a man wants to date you, he is a predator. If you are very young and he is much older than you and tells you that you're mature for your age and wants to date you, he is a predator. If you are unhoused, if you are homeless, if you have no place to live and a man wants to date you, he is a predator. If you are struggling in life and a man wants to date you, he is a predator. If you are a single mother and you live alone with your kids and a man keeps telling you he wants to be a stepfather and come be the man of the house, he is a predator. If you have low self-worth and low self-esteem and a man wants to date you, he is a predator. If you have no friends and no family to look out for you and a man has come along and promised to take care of you and look out for you, he is a predator. It's really important for me to tell y'all that because predators stalk their prey. So all of these questions that men are asking you in the beginning is to figure out if you will be good prey for them. Them watching you for months or years on end, either in real life or on social media, is not flattering. They are stalking their prey. And if you are in an abusive or toxic relationship, it is because he chose you specifically, especially you, to be in that relationship because he knew you would be a good fit.
Don't tell that man what kind of man you looking for. He should already be a good man before you meet him. Some of these men are liars, cheaters, manipulators, and stalkers. They will pretend to be a good man to drain you of everything that you got.
So, we're always talking about not dating broke men because they use you, which is very important. But not enough attention is paid to how men with money can still leech off your resources if you don't vet properly. We're all familiar with hobosexuals who try to move into your place because they have nowhere else to go. But many don't know about the part-time parasites that flourish in expensive cities with well-educated men like New York, LA, Silicon Valley, the DMV, etc. These men are not homeless. They often have well-paying jobs and can afford a decent place, but they're cheap. They will live with multiple roommates or live in a distant, inconvenient suburb that's cheaper, have a comfortless place with no amenities, and they lean on you to make up the difference. I've known guys who bragged about living in basement apartments while stacking their own cash while sleeping over at their girlfriend's nice, spacious place every night. So while he drops maybe $800 in rent, with a little dribble for utilities he never uses, she's paying $2,000 plus in rent. Plus, her utilities and food bills are off the charts because he's using her hot water, gaming on her TV, and eating there nightly. Eventually, he'll have enough for a house down payment, and she'll have a lot of bills and wasted energy. We're already suffering because of the gender wage gap, ladies. Don't let men use up the money that you do have. Sometimes these men do have their own apartment or house, but they're either a frickin' mess or in the middle of nowhere, so it becomes more convenient to stay at your place every night because these guys work in the city but are too cheap to pay city rent, so they live an hour outside of town. I don't care if the guy is a tech bro or an engineer in the valley making crazy money. He's still more headache than he's worth if he's a cheap leech. These guys will brag on their salaries, but they want to live off your largesse and spend their own money on toys and takeout. No. Your space, whether you rent or own, is an asset. Protect it. When a man asks you questions about your living situation, evade them. He asks where you live, keep it general. Give the neighborhood name only and turn the conversation. I live downtown, and you? If he asks directly if you live alone, lie. A man with good intentions won't care. A user will be turned off. A high-value man, and I hate that term, is never measuring a woman's assets. Only users care about that. Think of how many secretly married men rely on the woman having a space they can meet. Listen closely to what he's asking you about your living situation. General questions are fine, but if he's asking you how big your place is or how much rent you pay, he's either casing the joint or trying to figure out your income. Either way, no bueno. Run.
No matter what the situation, always be aware. In my stay-at-home mom series, I talk about how men try to keep you financially vulnerable and dependent on them. This is how they might use your resources to their advantage. Always be careful. Like and follow for more.
Because men as a collective decide to uphold patriarchy, I hold up patriarchy too when it comes to the standards that are put on them by patriarchy. One of those standards is that I do not tolerate men that play the victim, especially if they are a stranger. There is no man that wants to sacrifice his masculinity by coming to you telling him his problems. Any man that is coming to you and he has not known you for a long time, if he's coming to you with problems, talking about, oh, I got kicked out, oh, I don't get along with my family members, I lost my job, I have health issues, yada, yada, yada. It's because he doesn't have anything to lose as a man. He doesn't even have any pride and dignity to lose. That's the reason why he can just be so open about telling you his quote unquote struggles. The struggles that he has is a result of him not having anything. Because he's not working to have anything. He doesn't want to work to have anything. And he understands that he needs to rely on a woman to be able to have a place to stay, to be able to have a car to drive, to be able to have some income coming in. No real man that actually has things and actually has things going for himself, no real man ever wants to put the bad taste in the mouth of a woman by presenting themselves, by looking like less of a man, by stating his issues that he's having. Because in most cases, he understands that he has the means to be able to fix his issues. So therefore, he's not going to sign up to emasculate himself in order for you to feel bad for him. Because that's going to take a knock at his ego as a man. Any man that's framing himself as a victim is trying to manipulate you. And it's really that simple. This is the reason why men get so upset when they say like, oh, well, we can't be vulnerable and we can't be open with our feelings. Yeah, because 9 times out of 10 when men are open and vulnerable with their feelings, they're fucking lying. When men are being open and vulnerable with their feelings, they're fucking weaponizing it against you. That way they can use you for your resources. That way they can make it harder to get rid of them because they understand that you have a soft spot and they understand that you're a woman, and so you empathize more and there's more vulnerability in your emotions, that they know that in most cases you will feel bad for them and decide to want to take a chance on them, and then they end up ruining your fucking life in the process. Nothing should turn you off more than hearing a man tell you about his problems. Nothing should turn you off more than that. Men understand how to be problem solvers. They do. They know exactly what the fuck it is that they need to do. They're refusing to do it and weaponizing it because they just simply want you to do it for them without wanting to lower their sense of masculinity by asking you to do it. So they have to frame their victim mindset to say, well, let me just play the victim and then she'll feel bad for me and then she'll just step in and do it for me. You should be repulsed over a man asking you for anything, telling you any sob story. You should absolutely feel repulsed. Because a man, if he's a true man, he's going to figure it out on his own. You'll never know that he even had a problem. And the thing about it is that because we live in a society that tells men that they can't be open with their emotions, they use that to weaponize. They weaponize it. Women actually get impressed by the fact that men come out and say how terrible of a person that they are. Yeah, I mean, I cheated on my ex-girlfriend. I actually was abusive to my ex-girlfriend. I actually was this, I actually was that. Women are impressed by that. You should be everything but impressed by that. You should be everything but impressed by that. Women will get impressed by that, but yet they will never sit here and say, ooh, he's got a bad past. I don't know about dealing with that. Y'all will actually reward him for his past. Meanwhile, if you tell a man that you have a body count of 20 men, he's judging you by your past and he's like, oh yeah, I'm never fucking with her again. But women will sit here and be like, oh my God, he was so honest about the fact that he cheated on his ex-girlfriend and I'm just still going to deal with him, and then wonder why you still get cheated on.
Men can spot a weak woman. When I say weak, I mean weak-minded. A woman that lacks love, self-love, and self-esteem. A man can spot that a mile away, and he loves taking advantage of those type of women. I can spot them a mile away. If I can spot them, I know they can spot them. So if you're walking around out there and you're easily clocked and spotted, as a low self-esteem woman who doesn't love herself, know exactly when you get into a relationship, the man that you're with knows it too and will take advantage of it. That's why I tell y'all women, if you're a pick-me-sha, all your relationships are going to fail. You know why? Because they're set up to fail from the start. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Because you don't love yourself and you love men more than you love you. So they're all set up to fail. Especially if you're looking for a man that's going to love you more. You can never find that if you already love him more and don't love yourself. So you will never find that unless you work on yourself and correct it. Pick-me-sha usually attract the worst kind of men. They sure do. And I don't know. Look, some people don't mind being a pick-me-sha because that's all they know. They don't understand anything else. They're on a stupid mission to find someone that loves them more, but no one can love you more if you don't even love yourself. Okay? So they're on a fool's journey, I'm going to call it, to find true love when they truly don't even love themselves. So they keep going in a circle and in a cycle of foolishness. Okay? And by the time they get of a certain age and they've allowed all these men to use them and break them and, leave them, now they love themselves even less. Okay? So it just gets worse and worse. And you can see it in their appearance, in their everyday life, how they treat themselves and how they treat other people. So if you're going in that downward cycle of being a pick-me-sha, you need to find yourself and start loving yourself more than you love these men out here. And no man is going to love you unless you first take pride in who you are, yourself, your appearance, and your self-esteem. If you don't take pride in yourself, nobody else will. Nobody will be proud of you. Sprinkle, sprinkle. So if you're one of those women, but I love him, you got to get out of it. If you don't get out of it, you're going to sink further into it and you're going to create a pattern for the rest of your life. You'll always be seeking the same type of man that will never put you as a priority because you won't put yourself as a priority. Okay?
So yesterday, I came across this TikTok video of this young lady. She was sitting in her car crying, making a video talking about being married. And she said that she's been married for 7 years and she doesn't know if that's what she wants for her life anymore because nobody told her marriage was going to be so stressful and so draining, because she does not like the fact that she has to be thinking about another person every hour of every day, everything she wants to do, and she is not sure if this is a life she wants for herself anymore. And she go ahead to say that, mind you, my husband is a good man, but I digress because honestly I think that if you are feeling so drained in your marriage, your husband is not a good man. That's for one. What he's doing is he's gaslighting you. Whenever you complain about something, he tell you all he does for you. You see? That's why you think he's a good man. I swear to God, you would not be drained if your husband was a good man. But that's beyond the topic. So I went into the comments like everybody else was, and I said, even the good man is draining. And there's so much women, it's like maybe 20,000 likes by now and 200 and something replies. People are replying saying, yeah, even the good man is, because my husband is this, my husband is that, and I'm drained. If I get divorced or if my husband die, I would never get married again, blah 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 blah. And the men are mad at me, asking me, oh, if women are not draining. I don't know. Every time I'm around women, I'm happy. I've never really been around a woman that was draining, because I'm a woman too, and if she's draining, we're gonna just fight. Okay? And then we're gonna be good again. It's a difference. So I don't know if women are draining, but what I'm saying is that men are draining. Every woman that has a man looks like she has a man. Whenever I go outside and I see a woman, I can tell immediately if this woman has a man, a husband, baby daddy, a bunch of kids, or how long this woman have been in a relationship. I swear to God, you can put 10 women in a row and ask me, show me the ones that are married, show me the ones that are single, and I will point them out every time because they have that look. They're tired. They're drained. They're not being poured into. They're carrying too much. They're not talking about how they feel. Y'all are gaslighting them every time they talk about how they feel. They said, hey, I didn't know that being a mother was going to be this hard. Oh, them your kids. Oh, it give you honor. Nobody listen to mothers. Nobody listen to wives. They're shunned. And that's why a lot of them lie and talk about they have a good man when all he does is go out and work and pay the bills. That man would be paying his own bills if he was single. A man would still be paying his own bills if you didn't live there, if you didn't give him children, if you didn't clean the house, if you didn't sleep with him at night, if you didn't rub his back when he said it hurt, if you didn't tend to his bullshit whenever he threw a tantrum. You do not owe a man your life force because he pays bills. You need to be poured into also. And as far as I'm concerned, that does not happen the minute that a man think he has you. The minute a man think he has you, whether by you having children by him or you marrying him, he's now single to go outside and fuck around and you're the only one left working. In every marriage, I never seen a man work. I never seen a man put in half the labor that a woman puts in. And then when it's over and done, you're the one that left to pick up the scraps because he's moved on to somebody younger than you that look better than you. He criticizes your body. He criticizes your food. He criticizes every fucking thing you do. As if it's nothing, as if it was owed to him. And I'm not telling nobody not to get married. I'm just saying. The men that want to come for me can come for me because y'all are the ones that was holding marriage over women's heads just 2-3 years ago. All of a sudden, we're the one that don't want it. No, we're the one that it doesn't serve. We're the one that's realizing that it doesn't do nothing for us. We're the one that's realizing that single women are actually happy women. The ones that are not male-centered. The ones that choose to be single. That's why y'all force men on women, because you don't want us to be happy. Y'all want us to be drained and tired and sick. Calling women gold diggers. Y'all are the real gold diggers. Calling women lazy. Y'all are the real lazy ones, because what you do is you go get you a little woman, you put her in the house and you put all your burden on her. Sometimes she got to carry the burden of your freaking side of the family too. And she get no thanks for it. There's never any thanks for it. And that's why women are checking out. That's why women are tired. I just wish they would check out sooner. I wish some of them wouldn't have gotten married in the first place. And then even if they did, I would have still wished they would check out sooner. Do not give them 20 years. Stop it. Do not give them 5 kids. After the first kid, if he's not an active father, do not have any more. Start planning your exit. He doesn't love you. Okay. I said what I said.
The man she was going to marry stole her house. They'd been dating for 2 years. Kathy owned her own house, while Joe didn't. Joe worked as a firefighter in Los Angeles and had a very good income and good credit. He just had never taken the step or saved any money for a down payment. When things got serious and Joe proposed, they decided to start looking for a home they could buy together. Because Joe didn't have any money to contribute to the down payment, Kathy decided to sell her house and use the proceeds to put down on a new house. Joe agreed to pay 100% of the mortgage as his contribution. I put Kathy's house on the market and sold it. She put 100% of her proceeds down on the new house, which was about $400,000. I found them a new house by the ocean, which they both loved. In talking with mortgage lenders, they realized Joe had a much higher credit score, and the lender suggested that only Joe go on the loan and later add Kathy to title. I advised them against this, but that's what they decided to do. Very soon after moving in, trouble started. They realized they were not compatible living together. Joe was a hyper clean freak who couldn't differentiate living at the firehouse and sharing a home with someone else. And Kathy was a free spirit who had better things to do than spend all day cleaning. After closing, I gave them the information how to add Kathy to title. She was distraught. The man she thought she was going to marry wasn't a good match. So she waited a few months until she figured out what she wanted to do. When she knew she wanted to leave, sell the house they bought and get her money back, she asked Joe to go through the process to put her on title. He refused. He didn't want her to leave, and he could hold the house over her head to get her to stay. She tried to make nice, and he continued to refuse to add her to title. It got to the point she couldn't take it any longer, and she left him. She hired an attorney, showed the chain of where money came from, but the law was on his side. She had to submit a gift letter to show where the down payment came from, and he used that against her. After a year in court and many thousands in lawyer fees, Kathy walked away from the house and all of her money she had made on her previous purchase. She had to start over. As she told me, it was an expensive lesson, but worth it to get away from Joe.
Yesterday, someone named Matt Walsh decided to repost a TikTok video that I posted to his 2.4 million followers on X, formerly known as Twitter. And the way that his followers bullied me in the comments, reached out to me on social media, threatened me, was honestly abhorrent. Some of his followers said that alone. I should actually die and never leave my house. I should be sexually assaulted. I'm pathetic. I'm a whore. And that I was dead behind my eyes.
Yeah, all this happened because she posted a video showing how she spent her weekend as a single child-free woman, cooking for herself, enjoying a reality TV show, and generally relaxing. What I need people to understand is all this behavior women are documenting on social media is stemming from the same place. All this violence from men, like the woman Roe, who just got attacked by the guy with the brick because she wouldn't give him the number. The women who are talking about what happens when they go out by themselves as single women and how men are getting angry at the idea of them being single. And the number of women like myself who post content about their lives or fun social media commentary or whatever, only to get back crazy, insane threats. It's all part of men's extinction burst. What do I always tell you all? Anything that they say to you is projection. So when they're talking about how you're going to kick it alone or whatever, they're afraid. They're afraid they're the ones who are going to pass away alone, and they should be afraid, because I'm only 34 and I know several men who have died alone and been found weeks afterward. And just for context, these were not poor men. One was a literal millionaire, fun fact. But one of them was a former professor of mine. Another was a minister I knew growing up as a child. So yeah, these are men who were gainfully employed, highly educated, had money, had, some sense of place in the community or whatever, and they kicked it alone. All black ex-wives too, for those who are wondering. So maybe they should get their house in order. But the point is, there is a reason why gossip was literally outlawed and made a crime with high penalties once upon a time. They're afraid of us women sharing information. They know that the more that we talk to each other, the less we can be gaslit into thinking everything is our fault and we should just work harder and whatnot. For the longest time, they kept us isolated in little silos so they could tell you, you're a crappy wife, you're a crappy mother, you should be working harder, you should be starving yourself so you can be thinner for me, you should be cooking and cleaning and working a job. All the other women managed to do it, and they kept us from talking to each other, and they shaped our reality. And men were in charge of media, so the TV shows and the movies and magazines and whatnot that we consumed all reflected the reality that men wanted us to believe in. But now that women are in more of a position of power and we can create for ourselves, and we have these more egalitarian platforms like social media where they're not in sole control of what we say and do, women are sharing information that is vital to our everyday lives, and these kins cannot handle it. They're in their extinction burst. They are screaming out like a T-Rex when the comet was hitting the earth, okay? And it is just as futile because we are not going backwards. We're only going forward. Be very careful. While the ex-wives are having their little tantrum of extinction burst, be armed, be safe, stay in groups and whatnot. I was just going to make a video earlier when I saw the thing about Roe, thinking about how grateful I was that I decided to get a car. It has been an expense, and, I've had some ups and downs with my baby. I love my car, but I've had some ups and downs. But I think it has paid for itself just in terms of my mental health alone, because getting on the train every day used to be such a drain for me. It used to be such a mental and emotional drain because ex-wives, especially black ones, were so trash. And I can say that because, look, I am myself black, but oh my God, they would just be stressing me out, wanting attention, wanting to get into your personal space, being dangerous, being violent, being aggressive, and just knowing after a long day, no matter how good it was at work, no matter how well things went at school, knowing I was going to have to face that was just so draining. And a lot of times I didn't do the things I wanted to do for myself. I would calculate whether or not I had the mental strength to stop off at the gym on the way home because I knew it might train another time versus just going straight home. And these are decisions women have to make all the time. So yes, but women, we are leveling up. We are coming to a much better point in our lives. So don't let the, kins dissuade you. When we see them acting out like this, like toddlers for attention, you should be proud, knowing that just by living your life, you are a threat to evil systems of oppression. Just by living your life, you're changing the world. And that's why all these people are so off center and off balance and having to threaten you and whatnot. So you'll be afraid and pick one of their sorry loser selves. But don't do it. Like and follow for more.
And remember, ladies, all a man ever has to offer you is these things. Starting with BV, UTIs, yeast infections, and trauma. No accountability, mid-dick. Cheating, unsolicited opinions, weight gain, debt, low self-esteem, insecurities, bitterness and misery, poverty, extra laundry, abandonment issues, emotional abuse, central nervous system shutdown, lost time, another boyfriend because they're DL, trust issues, stress and tears, depression, one-sided effort, chaos, PTSD and emptying our bank accounts, audacity, heavy on audacity, unwanted pregnancy, heavy on that. Single motherhood, heavy on that. Violence, heavy on that. Homelessness, annoyance and irritation, gaslighting and manipulation, heavy on that. Financial abuse, heavy on that. Disappointment, heavy on that. PTSD from marriage, heavy on that. Lies, games, and headaches, heavy on that. Cheating, heavy on that. Anxiety, heavy on that. Overthinking, heavy on that. High blood pressure, fatigue, deflection and blame, irritability, waste of time, heartache, frustration, exhaustion, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, all of the above. Betrayal, inconsistency, heavy on that, right? Broken egos for us to boost or fix. No accountability, gotta run that one back. STDs, notorious for that. Miscarriages, emotional unintelligence, heavy on that. Bad and lacking communication, heavy on that. Cheating again, existential dread, piss all over your toilet seats, emotional neglect, overthinking again, emotional damage, keeping you in situationships, messed up nervous system, drama, confrontation, and many red flags, as you can see. Harassment, high blood pressure, bad credit, HIV and herpes, and more. Messy houses, cervical cancer, aka HPV, spiritual abuse, flus and laryngitis, other women's kids, can we clock that T? Emotional abuse, financial abuse, mental abuse, physical abuse, spiritual abuse, all the above, right? STIs, shitty garbage sex, and toxic exes. Head games, notorious for that, right? Career regression or lost, notorious for that. Autoimmune diseases, embarrassment, energy drainage, because they're energy vampires. The 3 Bs, babies, bills, and bipolar. They're going to leave you with the 3 Bs. If not one, all 3, shit. PID, which is pelvic inflammatory disease. High cortisol levels, diminished independence, jailbirds, bacteria and viruses, notorious for that because it lives in their secretion. Rape and assault, notorious for that because if not a man, then what? Energy vampires, because that's what they are. Mental anguish, because that's what you're going to be dealing with and that's what you're going to get. Cheating, again, because they're notorious for that. No man is ever going to be loyal to you ever. Sorry, not sorry. I'm going to tell you. Domestic violence, weight gain and loss, humiliation, uroplasma, migraines, and last but not least, death. So ladies, if that wasn't a reason to stay away from men, then I don't know what the fuck will be the reason.
Only thing a bear can't do is rob you. That is absolute worst case scenario. Because let's say man does not have any weapons with him. You don't have any weapon. Man decides to do whatever he's gonna do to you. There is a rock next to you, and you minka monka mooka his dome. You win. You can't minka monka mooka the bear. Like I saw in another comment that bears mind their business. But if we are going based off of the question, you and bear alone in woods, you're food. Bears, and specifically grizzly bears, can reach up to 1,200 pounds. Bears can SA you if they're feeling frisky. Imagine your guts hanging out of your body and you end up feeling like y'all comparing worst and best case scenario in the situation when it could literally be the other way around.
You're pretty. Men want to trap you. Not only trap you with a baby, but they want to trap you with a relationship, or it can be a marriage. They do this because they're jealous of you, they see your potential, and they want to slow you down. So insecure men will use you just so they can brag to their friends and say, oh, look at this new girl I'm dating. Well, what these men do is, so they already know they're a loser. They know eventually you're going to realize he's a loser and break up with him, but that doesn't matter. Because he's going to use you to flex to the new girl and say, yeah, this is my ex. She's an Instagram model. She's pretty. She's the hottest girl in town. My first baby mama is a model. So you have to be so careful. You have to be careful. And also you attract DL men. You attract them because you're a trophy. You're a trophy, so you're a target, baby. You're a target. And I use this picture of Lori Harvey because Michael wanted to hold her back. Michael wanted to get married, and Lori was like, nope. She did not want to be held down because he can see her potential and he wants to hold her down. And Lori knew better. When you're pretty, these insecure men will date you just to humble you. They will cheat on you just to make you feel bad about yourself. So he's basically saying, oh, you're not even good enough. Look, I just slept with another girl. What does that say about you? And then you're going to feel low about yourself. They do this all the time. It's to make you question yourself. It's just another humbling tactic that they use. They will use you to raise their status in life. How many pretty girls do you know from your hometown that got trapped? There's always a really pretty girl that got trapped. And it's because these men, these go after pretty women. And obviously these women are obviously accepting this behavior, but a lot of them are young and don't even know better. But these men, even at their young age too, are trapping these pretty women to give them a rise in status in their hometown or just in life or wherever they want to go. It's called relationship trapping, marriage trapping, where you see a really pretty girl, she has her life going together, she's doing well. The guy sees she's doing well, studies her, gets with her. And now the girl that's in the relationship, she stops going after her goals. And this happens in marriage too. So he'll tell you, oh, I'll take care of the kids. I'll take care of everything. By the way, if you want to be a housewife, of course, that's fine. I'm talking about when women have goals already and then they put their goals away because their husband or their boyfriend, it was all his plan along to hold you down. It wasn't you. You had plans before that guy. And I'm so tired of seeing beautiful women that had so much potential lose out on life because of a man. These men will have a baby with you just to brag, to say they had a baby with a pretty woman. Men will use you for a come up as well. We have some come up boys. Men will use you for a come up. Financially, they will use your pretty face to make more money. They will use your pretty face to come up socially. They will use you emotionally. And we all know sexually. Not your mothers. I'm not going to tell you what to do. But all I'm going to say is, you're a target, baby. You will get men that are mean to you for no reason because they feel they want to reject you before you reject them. They will just start being mean to you. And you can see this a lot in the workplace. You may have a male colleague that's just giving you attitude for no reason. It's because you intimidate him. Yeah. That's why I love Beyonce. Beyonce could have been comfortable with Jay-Z's money. She could have taken a step back, but she kept going because that's her purpose. That's her goal. She's not going to slow down her life for a man, even if he's her husband. RIP to other pretty girls that had potential and a man came into their life and either he trapped her, the baby, relationship, or marriage, and she forgets that she's a person outside of that. RIP. That's why it's so important to date a man that's doing better than you, way better than you. Because we already know that men get jealous of women because, we can have it easier in life, quote unquote. Now, when you add beauty on top of that, men are extremely jealous of women and extremely jealous of women that can get into doors by their looks. And they always fail to mention that you actually need to be somewhat smart and intelligent, not just with books, but street smart to get into some doors. You need to be tactful. And they know this, but they're so jealous that they don't even want to add that. So they're just saying your beauty alone. Look, they're jealous of pretty, accomplished women, period. Period. They will use you while hating you. I'm telling you, these men, they will hate you while still needing you socially, financially. Yeah, that's why you need to date a man that's just doing way better than you, because it just comes with jealousy. How they talk about beautiful women online, how they talk about especially beautiful and accomplished women online. The envy is crazy. Don't think that it's not like that in real life. They're just hiding it because guess what? They still need you. They still benefit from you. And then they come online showing their ass. You really have to vet these men. You have to vet them and you have to date a man that's not insecure. And trigger warning, it can become abusive when a man becomes jealous of you. So pretty women, keep your eyes peeled, be vigilant, vet, boundaries, pour into yourself, never stop your goals for no one. Keep going after your goals and stop having a scarcity mindset. Stop being male-centered. Stop revolving your goals around a man. Stop revolving your financial goals around a man. Your get-rich scheme should not only be to get married. No, I'm not hating because who doesn't want to marry rich? Like, I know I want to marry well, but my only get-rich scheme should not be based on marriage. I should have my own way of making money too. I shouldn't rely completely on a man because I'm still team sprinkle. Don't get me wrong. Do that at the same time while fulfilling your goals. Stop wasting time waiting for a man to do that. That's it for the end of the video. Thank you so much if you watched all the way through. I appreciate you. I really try to push through this video, guys. I'm sorry, I'm a bit under the weather. Don't forget to leave a comment down below if you have a similar experience with a jealous man. Don't forget to like and follow for more.
So you're not actually afraid of your husband or boyfriend or whoever leaving you, cheating on you. You're afraid of the consequences of that. So women are on here, on other sites, on IG, on Reddit, forums all day long talking about like, how can I know he really loves me? How do I know it's not love bombing? How do I know that this guy who says he loves me is never ever going to change? And it's really not about the guy's feelings, because I often, read these accounts of women who say, oh, I think my husband's cheating. I think he's going to leave or whatever. And right after the initial, oh, this hurts so much, the fear is always about what's going to happen next. I can't make it without him. I can't afford the house. I will lose my health insurance. And sometimes it's a valid fear. I was just reading about a woman who was undergoing treatment for breast cancer, and her husband was having an affair. And she's like, this is so horrible. I can't afford to be without insurance. And that is a real thing. But the point is, you can never vet enough, okay? Even if you vet perfectly and the guy was, at the time of your marriage, a perfectly wonderful human being, a lot of guys turn into jerks when their spouses get sick. That's why 1 in 5 men leave. And that's, like I said, only the men who actually divorce you. There are plenty of guys who will do like this woman's husband and just cheat on you. Or, go someplace else, not take care of you, just, be inattentive and make you feel worse about your body. And that's, stressful in its own way. So the point is, you can't prevent the man's behavior from turning sour, but you can prevent the consequences you're so worried about. Take all that energy you're using to vet men and try to dig into their secret thoughts and listen in on his conversations and try to figure out how he really feels about you and does he really love you, and apply it to building a safety net. That's what you should be focused on. Build a lifestyle that you can maintain yourself, whether or not he's there. Have your own everything. have your own insurance, have your own ability to support yourself, have your own blah, 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 and don't mingle up your finances with him. And, if he is the wealthy guy and you're benefiting, make sure you benefit. Make sure you sock away some of the money that he's being so generous with during the in love phase. Make sure you get some properties and whatnot in your own name. Make sure you take that time to start a business and whatnot. And that way, if he ever does leave or want something else, you'll only be hurt emotionally. And that hurt is fleeting. You may be sad for a while, but what is of enduring pain is when women talk about how they were homeless because a man left them, because, how they left custody of their children because they could not support them. And the husband's like, oh, she's been a stay-at-home mom for 20 years or whatever. And she's got a gap in her resume and she can't afford to keep the kids and the lifestyle they become accustomed to. And he takes custody with his new girlfriend. That hurts forever. Like and follow for more.
By the way, before I start this commentary, I need to make something clear. All these topics that I post are not addressed to all men or all women. It's normally a good percentage of them, some or even most. So don't come here just saying, oh, but it's not all men. My husband is... Please, we already know they are good men. We already know they are good men. And that's why we are not settling for less, because we know they are good men. But these bad men are many and we need to address these things. So don't think that we don't know that. Anyway, let me tell you something. A man will rob you of your hard-earned money. Like, watching the first video, I was so heartbroken to imagine that these women had to pay those men all that money. It's so heartbreaking. And these are the kind of things men love. These are the kind of things men love. Let me tell you something. The men of nowadays are not real men. They don't uphold patriarchy. They're not happy about patriarchy. They're not happy about the fact that they gotta provide. They gotta be a man. They want to be treated like princesses. They want you to work. They want you to suffer. And they want to drain the life out of you. They want to drain your energy. They want to drain your money. They want to drain everything. That is, a man will destroy your life. That is the whole point of this video. He will ruin it in one way or another. Most of these men will. But some men will make it better. But it's a small percentage. That's why you always hear this story of kissing a frog. Because as women, you'll kiss a lot of frogs before you find that man who just treats you right, It's crazy. And even the one that treats you right is not perfect. He has some things he's working on, So it's a crazy world. Ladies, okay, me my notion, I always say in these videos, I don't care whether you bash me, but that is my opinion. Ladies, let me tell you, if there's no marriage, there's nothing to lose. If you didn't sign any marriage certificate, there's nothing to lose. Don't come for me telling me you could have gained your husband's word. Let me tell you, you could have gained nothing, because those men want to take everything from you, even if they have something of their own. They want to take everything from you. Even those rich men who have millions of dollars, they want to see you depressed. They want to see you without nothing. Literally, they want to see you without nothing. That man will pay out his way to not pay you anything, not even any money. You also have to have your own money to hire those lawyers and blah, blah, blah. It's not as easy as it sounds. It's not a fairy tale. Me personally, I believe in myself so much to the point that I've never dreamt of, at SG after a divorce, I'll be this rich woman, or SG after my husband dies. I know I'll be a rich woman because of my effort, because of my hard work, not because of a man's money. Like, with or without a man, I still have it. That's the mentality here. That's how it's supposed to be. Most of these women telling you, oh, we are kept wives. Oh, and I'm not denying they're kept wives. But they are kept wives. I'm not denying that. I've seen it. Even in my family, I've seen it. But it's not a lot of us women who are that lucky. And you have to protect yourself financially. You have to protect your assets. You have to be a smart woman, or else your children and your grandchildren will sleep hungry. If you're just there, digmatized, you're not even thinking straight, you're giving that man access to your money, your accounts, everything. He will reduce you to nothing. He'll rob you. Some of these men will rob you your energy, your spark. Some of these women never recover because their spark was stolen. Their destinies were stolen. Most of these men a man will take something from you. Even if he's providing, he will always take something from you. That's what you gotta put through your head. They will use you for a come up. They will use you to shine in front of their friends. You can never vet enough, by the way. You can never be sure, like 100% sure, this man is okay. You can vet as much as possible, but you can never vet enough. There are surprises along the way. So we as women gotta do better. We need to stop blaming other women. Oh, why did you marry him? If you what? Unless the red flags are already clear in the beginning, then we have a right to ask others why they did that. But sometimes us women are blindsided, and these men will blindside you. They'll rob you. Let me tell you the truth. So you gotta be careful. My notion is, Whenever I've not signed anything, there's nothing to be robbed. Because I believe in myself so much, I believe in my potential so much, and I understand that the man you marry is not the man you divorce. I've been in a serious relationship before, and the man that we were together for those 5 years was not the man that I left. I could not believe it. I could not believe how he was like very angry, very like dismissive. Like, it's not like a man you knew. It's crazy. And you guys have a kid. It's crazy. Let me tell you, since I saw that side of him, I don't think I can ever trust a man 100%, especially on that side, because people can change. People are human. People can change. Ladies, protect yourself. Protect your financial future. By protecting your financial future, protecting the future of your children. Protect your mental health even through that. Don't stay in a situation where you're giving 80, he's giving 20. You know? Anyway, enough said. Let me know. Did this video teach you something? Did it appeal to you? Did it resonate with you? Did you love it? Please comment down below on your experience or on whatever you want to say concerning the video or concerning that situation. And I'll be happy to engage with you. Anyway, have a nice day, a nice night, whatever time this is finding you. And I'll see you on my next video. Bye. Mwah.